Hello, kia ora, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us for our Wednesday weather update for February the 8th. And all eyes are on the Coral Sea with a developing tropical cyclone. This is it up here, exploding to life, and it's going to rapidly deepen over the next couple of days and become a severe tropical cyclone as it heads southeastwards towards the North Island of New Zealand. Now, the latest tracking from the Bureau of Meteorology does show that it could come directly in to the north of New Zealand. So that's why we're talking about it in such detail already. Now, let's have a look at the wind map right now. You can see the low pressure system deepening further there. Hasn't yet perfectly got that circular shape to it. When we recorded this, it was not a named cyclone, but it is likely to be named today by the Bureau of Meteorology, or at least by tonight. So that system is developing. At the other end of the map, though, there's a colder southerly coming into the lower South Island. Your temperatures are well down today and tomorrow. In fact, for inland parts of Southland like Gore, your daytime high today is about 20 degrees lower than it was on Saturday. That is a big difference. So a cooler day for you, or a colder day for the next 24 hours or so, and then that southerly starts to fade away. So here is the expected tracking. This is from the Bureau of Meteorology, severe category 3. It could go higher than that. There's a chance it could certainly go up a bit beyond that. As it tracks towards New Zealand, it then goes into that extratropical phase where it loses the warm tropical core and the whole system starts to change shape. Now, that does not mean it's a fizzer. We hear that term all the time. I understand that term. It's usually when a storm comes in and falls apart. This is not expected to fall apart. So it's more about the precise tracking of the storm rather than will it even make it? Because at this stage, it looks highly likely to be a storm well down to the New Zealand area. So the precise tracking makes all the difference. So let's have a look at the path over the next few days ahead. But just quickly, Thursday, you can still see that cooler southerly in the south. By Friday, it's gone. High pressure is back over the South Island. So a beautiful day after a cooler start, but then that pushes a few showers and easterlies to the north of the country. The storm here deepens on further on Friday, and it now brushes the Queensland coast. Severe weather is not looking too likely across Queensland, but certainly in these coastal areas, it'll be pretty borderline, and the seas are going to be dangerous, which the surfers will love. But if you're not experienced, stay out of the water. This is a dangerous system brushing past you. But mostly settled for New Zealand on Friday and to some degree on Saturday. But the high on Saturday slips out to the east over the Chathams. So it moves out here. That encourages a bit of a nor'east flow down across the country. Get used to that because it's going to be the dominant airflow for the next 4 or 5 days ahead. The wind starts to pick up a bit as we go through Saturday. You might even see a few gusts to gale force in the marine areas as the day wears on. Rain-wise, not a lot of it, just mostly a few showers there, brushing some parts of Auckland, but mostly up around Northland. On Sunday, now you're starting to feel the effects of the storm. Like I say, the exact placement of the centre of this system will make all the difference as to how far the severe weather goes down across New Zealand. If it remains further to the north, then only the top of the country gets it. If it comes down, as the modelling is predicting, then much of the North Island is exposed to severe weather for a time. And that will start to develop on Sunday with the strong nor'easters getting up to gale force and rain becoming more widespread. It may not be overly heavy, the rain. That's probably going to happen on Monday as the centre of this system comes through. Now, you might have noticed the tracking sort of going like this to the north of New Zealand. Most of the modelling picks it to suddenly turn more southerly just as it comes in, and that's partially because there's that big blocking high out here to the east pushing back against it, and that tends to curve the low a wee bit around and into the North Island. That's the reason why this is such a serious system for us to be monitoring. So let's take a look at what the various models are saying, and there is not a lot of difference. 1 o'clock Tuesday morning, plus or minus a few hours. This is where we're expecting the American model to be placing the centre of the low. Air pressure down around into the 960 hectopascal range. If that is the case, this is a very serious storm, and rainfall totals over 100, 200 millimetres in just one day across big parts of the North Island. Compare that to the European model, almost no difference. Both of them show severe weather across the top half of the North Island and windy weather in the lower half of the North Island with a bit of rain. Not as much as the North, but still blustery and still unsettled. And that goes a bit down into the South Island as well. And compare that also to the UK model, which for the last couple of days has been placing the storm further north. Today, it's in agreement with all the others. So basically, we're seeing a lot of confidence from the computer modelling It's not 100% perfect, not at all, but it's giving us a pretty clear idea that this storm is certainly coming into our part of the world, and the North Island has already a high risk, I think, of being exposed to this storm. But it is still, we're talking about Tuesday and today is Wednesday. That's 6 days away. Still a lot could happen. So the next couple of days of updates are going to be critical as we start to really work out just how exposed New Zealand will be to this incoming storm system for around about Sunday to Tuesday coming up. That is all from me for today. We've got more details on our website. We've got more maps on our website. You can also go to the Predict Wind maps and you can compare those models. Quite easy to do with the drop down, and you can just see what they're all saying, wind and rain wise and swell wise and all that sort of stuff. But basically we do need to be prepared for this storm system coming down to New Zealand starting this Sunday, not finishing till maybe the middle part of next week. We will have more details tomorrow, Thursday, in our next video update. We'll see you then.